We begin tonight following two big stories. The Purdue Boilermakers now one win away from the Final Four here in Indianapolis, getting a big win tonight over Texas. We've got your Sweet 16 coverage from San Jose to West Lafayette. Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11:22. We'll get to the Gold and Black in a moment, but first tonight, severe storms hitting central Indiana. You can see the damage in Marion tonight. So let's get over to Angela for a quick update. So Angela, any watches or warnings in effect right now?
Yes, we still have both. Severe thunderstorm watch until midnight, Scott, and I've got one severe thunderstorm warning until 11:45. This is in effect for parts of Clay, Northwest Greene, Northern Sullivan, and the southern half of Vigo counties. Severe thunderstorm warning until 11:45. Main threat with that one, some damaging winds. Heavy rain and lots of lightning from Anderson up to Muncie into Hartford City, and then as we head back toward Lafayette as well. I'll have another update in a few minutes.
All right, Angela, thanks so much. March Madness got its names because of games like this. This back and forth battle tonight between the Boilers and Longhorns coming down to the final seconds. And when you're this Purdue team with experienced leaders, you stick with the seniors. Trey Kaufman-Wren getting the putback and sending the Boilermakers to the Elite Eight. We've got team coverage for you tonight. Alex Almanza is hanging out with fans in West Lafayette. We'll hear from Alex in a moment, but first tonight, Eli Gain is in San Jose with a pumped Purdue squad.
Yeah, Scott, it's unbelievable. It's as you mentioned off the top here, this is what March is all about. Trey Kaufman-Wren creating his one shining moment, at least for now, because there's still more games to go. But you focus on what just happened a couple hours ago here at the SAP Center, where the Longhorns had Purdue had their backs against the ropes. And then here we go in the final seconds. Braden Smith makes the drive, misses. Trey Kaufman-Wren is right there to tip it right back in. And sorry, Texas fans. Sorry your season's over. Not you guys, though. You're excited, right? Yeah, you guys.
Texas, boiler up. Made it.
Hammer down.
They gave him a game. That
was a great game.
You know, that's it.
It really was a great game, okay? Yeah.
We did great.
Hey, good sports. I love that. And congratulations to you guys on a good season. Purdue is moving on. Thank you guys. But yes, again, afterwards, when the team was coming off of the floor, there was obviously that pumped up the moment, like the adrenaline is going through their veins. But once we got into the locker room, it was sort of like a reset. It was like, okay, we got through this game. We still have another one to play on Saturday. That's going to happen against either Arkansas or Arizona. And this game was so tense at the end, Scott, that the Arkansas team was in the media room watching the game with us, and everyone was just sort of fidgeting around, waiting for that finish. And then I mentioned it, TKR, the hero in this one, sending Purdue into the Elite Eight for the third time since 2019. Of course, we caught up with him, Braden Smith, and head coach Matt Painter following the result.
It was a full court play. Try to get Braden that right seam drive. And then if he got cut off, then I was going to duck in there. But that kind of, fading away to the baseline, a little jumper, like he's kind of patting that. So it was a great shot. And then I just tried to put myself in position to get a rebound and let the good Lord do what he does.
Honestly, it left the hand and I thought it was in. So I was kind of already hopping under the rim in excitement, and then obviously it bounced off, missed, and I saw Trey tip it and I was right under the rim and I was just like, oh, thank God that went in, because I was like, I did not want to go into overtime. I did not want to do that just because the momentum and all that stuff. So it was just awesome, and obviously being with this team and this group, so it means a lot.
You learn as a coach, a lot of times people will ask, you just kind of stand there. And you're like, yeah, I'm thinking about the next play. No, the next play hasn't happened yet. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, the possibilities of what could happen next. And so getting emotional at that time, but we told our guys, if we get this shot from Braden and we get it, 2, 3, 4 seconds, nobody's a safety, get on the glass. There's no one getting back. And that's what happens a lot in these situations. It's not always the shot that beats you, it's that second shot.
And that's such a good point that Painter made. We see it every single season in the NCAA tournament, is when a shot is made to take a lead and then the other team just rips your heart out in split seconds. So congrats to Purdue on hanging on here advancing. That's what it's all about. Survive and advance, and now they're going to be right back here at the SAP Center on Saturday for the Elite Eight. So we're going to stick around here for a couple more days. We have Purdue fans. They're slowly slowing down a little bit, but continue to sort of file out of this arena. They're excited to be here for a couple more days, but I can only imagine what the fans were feeling in West Lafayette. That's where we go with our Alex Almanza with more on the fans back in Indiana. Alex, how's it looking over there?
Eli, we're here at the piano bar in West Lafayette, right near the Cactus Bar, and you can see people are excited. They're singing the fight song for us. Look at them go. They've got their hands clapping, they're ready, and this is something that this is only really the beginning of the party, because earlier today was really a nail-biter of a game.
Severe weather didn't stop fans from coming out and cheering on Purdue.
I'm feeling like $1 million. We can do this.
The team's looking great. I mean, it's March, so anything can happen, but we're having a good time.
All across West Lafayette, cheers and beers. Some places like Harry's Chocolate Shop were filled shoulder to shoulder. With Purdue in the Sweet 16 and now headed to the Elite Eight, fans say the fight is far from over. And getting comfortable now could bite them later.
I feel like we're on the road to the championship, to be honest with you. I feel like we got it all. And my ESPN bracket says that I'm #1 in my group right now. I have Purdue going all the way, and I intend to carry that on.
But when it got down to the last 2 minutes, audible sighs in the room, a nail-biter, until the Boilermakers took home another dub.
I'm excited. That was awesome.
How did you feel those last few seconds?
Nervous, but I had all my faith in my Purdue Boilermakers.
Now it's all about keeping that momentum and bringing it back to Indy for the Final Four, if they get there.
And that's the magic, is keeping that momentum all the way to the championship. So, like I said, the party's just getting started. When we got here first, it was a little spare. There was a lot of folks around. But now that the game has ended, people are looking to just celebrate, spend the night, and go crazy. So you can see the crowd is just super excited. Don't get too comfortable is the message for them, but it's just nice to celebrate every once in a while, Scott.
All right, Alex, let the celebration continue in West Lafayette. They can celebrate until Sunday, until they get the next game. Thanks so much. So the sound that you hear right now is the basketball buzz here in Indy growing louder by the day. And tonight, city leaders are revealing all the plans are in place before the big dance waltzes into town. So we're talking traffic, crowd control, and emergency responses. The Final Four is expected to bring thousands of people to our city. The IMPD chief, Tanya Terry, said today there are no known threats, and her officers are going to be out there in force making sure it stays that way. And it's not just IMPD officers. You're also going to be seeing additional manpower from Indiana State Police and neighboring police agencies. But the biggest impact for fans is probably going to be the traffic. Expect challenges getting around.
We encourage everyone coming downtown to plan ahead, be patient, follow directions from officers and event staff, and act responsibly.
Look, we know some headaches are inevitable with this kind of hoopla, but city leaders say it's all worth it. After all, when the hoopla is about hoops, that's what our state is all about. All those visitors heading here next week will get to see in person what our city was built for. And since major events are coming to Indianapolis, including the Final Four, short-term rental owners are being reminded tonight about our city's rules. Our Brandon Schaff explains how an online registry is keeping track of more than 1,000 properties, holding owners accountable for what happens there.
Since the start of 2025, Indy's short-term rental permit program helps keep track of listed properties and who's responsible for them. Registration is required, and failure to do so is a Class C infraction. Owners get a permit and are added to a registry, which helps the city track short-term rentals and enforce laws.
It lets us know you are being a responsible property owner, and if there happen to be any issues on the site, if police get called, for like a noise complaint or something, they know that the short-term rental is properly registered, and they can let the property owner know, if there's something that's happening.
IMPD says property owners are responsible for what happens on their property and should be aware of what renters are doing during their stay. They warned about one-night rentals by locals, which could be a red flag, and reminded owners they have the right to deny someone if something feels off. The short-term rental registry also helps police quickly identify and contact property owners if they need to access the property.
They may have information about who they rented the property to that may be important in an investigation. So it helps our investigations in many ways to know if a property is properly licensed as a short-term rental.
Nonprofit Historic Urban Neighborhoods of Indianapolis supported the creation of the registry.
Most short-term rental experiences go off without a problem, but when problems arise, and they're big problems, it's important to be able to have somebody that you can contact. The registry provides for an emergency contact that is supposed to be located in and around the property.
As of March, about 1,200 short-term rentals are registered in Indiana. Property owners can apply for a permit, a $150 one-time fee per unit, using the Acela Citizens Access Portal. In Indianapolis, Brandon Sheff, 13 News.
Tonight, police are investigating a fatal crash on the far east side of Indianapolis. I want to show you some video of the scene from the INDOT cameras in the area. All of this unfolding around 7:15 tonight near Post Road and the I-70 ramp. Police now are telling us this wreck involved a motorcycle and an SUV. Right now, we're working to learn more about the person who died and what led up to that crash. Tonight, police in Fishers tell us they found the victim of an apparent stabbing when they stopped a car on I-69. Tonight, police are telling us the person in the car told the officer he'd been stabbed in Madison County. First responders took that person to the hospital for treatment. They did not elaborate on his condition. The Madison County Sheriff's Office tonight is leading this investigation. Now, we reached out to the agency but have not yet heard back. Angela?
Scott, threat of severe weather continues for the next couple of hours, and then a much colder Friday. I'll have that and look ahead to the weekend.
Plus, tiny homes with a big purchase and a big purpose. Tonight, we're going to show you how the people behind this future community hope it helps Indy's homeless neighbors. And a 79-year-old man whose business is teamwork and technology.
The older generation, they want to know more. And they want to know it right now.
We want to show you how Dan is helping others through some senior IT support. That's next.